are Millennials for All Aboard Florida. Woo!
I'm for a train station.
We are Symmetry, and we are Millennials for All Aboard Florida! My name is Floyd Preston, and I am a Millennial for All Aboard Florida.
My name is Lance Franco, and I am a Millennial for All Aboard Florida.
My name is Charles Kalanick, and I'm a Millennial for All Aboard Florida. All Aboard Florida! It's coming, baby. Transformation of communities, the boosting of local economies, and the unification of every locality in the state of Florida. Lives will change, businesses will change, economies will change. Get on board. All aboard. We are all aboard Florida.
Change the world!
We live united! Coming from Miami, going up to Orlando, right? It currently has stops at Miami and Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and Orlando. Our initiative with Millennials for All Aboard Florida, a subsidiary cause created by Social Symmetry Incorporated, is to advocate for a rail station in Stewart. Now there's two things that are hindering our progress.
Right.
The two things that are hindering our progress is, one, there is no established All Aboard Florida presence in the Treasure Coast.
Yeah.
Two, the only presence for this railway is opposition. Right? So there's a lot of misguided facts that are out there. They're misrepresented. There's a lot of narrative in their literature. People do not have access to the information that they need to make an objective decision for themselves. How I see it is the lagoon right now is decimating our local economy. Our businesses are falling. Tourists are leaving. Some of these people aren't coming back. There's fish washing up dead on the shore, dolphins, people with cuts on their legs jump into the lagoon, swimming by the sandbar, and they die. This happened 7 times already. So our local economy has taken a direct impact, direct hit from this lagoon. What we want to see is reversal of that. If the lagoon is going downhill from here, well, we're going to need to do something to boost our economy. So wouldn't it make sense to have a Bright Line station in downtown Stewart where 32 passenger railway cars come every day and drop off people from all over Florida, from pretty much every Florida locality?
That actually would be a great idea. As you said, pollution in the lagoon has decimated our economy. Not only that, but we're not getting more tourists. People are afraid to go to the beach. People are not going to any of the tourist spots like House of Hope, or just even go to basically the beaches are decimated. There's no point in going to the beach if you're going to die from an infection.
Right.
Not only that, this used to be a great major fishing spot. Now the waters are so murky and the fish so toxic they make Chernobyl look like a petting zoo. There's no point. There's nobody want to fish there.
So because our coastal communities of the Treasure Coast are all along water, the only chance that we could really revive our economy is through Bright Line and All Aboard Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. It's connecting all of Florida's localities, all of Florida's greatest cities, all of Florida's greatest businesses and economies, and theaters, and arts, and food, and people, and community together.
Oh yeah, that is so true, because people don't understand that less than 200 years ago that the only transportation is through horse and buggy. We were not connected. We were not. We didn't understand our neighbors. It was pretty much going to another country, just from another country. That's what experience. But in this day and age, we have technologies that could bring Florida together. Unless that can actually improve economies, help actually expand culture, help expand perspectives, and also make enough money off of tourists who want to actually experience more quiet life of Florida. For example, Stewart. Stewart's a great place for people just to settle down and just have a quiet existence. They can able to take a train from their home to more metropolitan areas where there's more jobs. Now, thus you're able to increase the population of Stewart and thus increase the economy. While at the same time, people still have job opportunities without the hindrance of traffic and the cost of cars.
So all aboard Florida and Brightline coming into Stewart, building a train station will create new opportunities. Will create new experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's face it, you walk from your home, you're in downtown Stewart, you go and you get onto the train takes you to Fort Lauderdale, you're there in 60 to 70 minutes, you get off, you're in the middle of a metropolitan area. I mean, there's all types of new experiences and opportunities that could be had. You know, and if you get tired of Fort Lauderdale, you could jump on the train and 30 minutes later you're in Miami. You know, and if you're feeling really adventurous, you could just jump on and go to Orlando.
This is like Europe. Europe does not have a lot of resources to actually afford like mass cars. They actually have trains trains and public and buses and all that in order to transport a large amount of people from one not only from one city to another, but also to one country to another. Thus, they get able to break culture barriers that are usually hindered by not only national borders, but also territory and lack of resources.
So having new rail infrastructure all throughout Florida will in fact then optimize transit of people, of things, of objects, of goods, of services.
Mm-hmm.
It will also increase efficiency of trade.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. They just dredged the Port of Miami. They widened the Panama Canal. You know, there's very, very ambitious trade agreements going on currently. So all aboard Florida and their infrastructure that they're setting up stands to optimize those trade agreements, you know, and increase efficiency and capacity of the goods and the people that Brightline can move.
Exactly. If we actually think about it, we can actually, the world it's always changing, and right now we can't stop the tides of progress, but just because we don't want a train going through our town. But the problem is that train can actually benefit us more than it would hinder us. Life, I'm gonna admit, life is not perfect, but at the same time, we cannot allow our desire to actually remain in the past to hold us back. Miami's expanding. West Palm Beach is expanding. Orlando expanding. We're gonna get caught in the expansion, like it or not. And maybe we should use this to our benefit to not only bring more money in, but also to make life also cheapen the cost of travel. Because let's face it, transportation is a basic human right. You take away that right, we have stagnation that will cause major tragedy that we cannot comprehend.
So it's interesting that you say that. You know, Social Symmetry Incorporated obviously was designed to bring in all stakeholders within our social environment, and then to work with those stakeholders and work with people living in communities to come up with solutions to complex social issues. You know, the largest complex social issue right now, aside from the lagoon and the Treasure Coast, is the opposition to this new infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
This new infrastructure is key to the growth and development of not only our local towns and cities here on the Treasure Coast, but of the unification of all of Florida. I mean, you're talking about the next chapter of humanity. You know, forward progress that's in the right direction. You know, and another very, very key matter of this is all aboard Florida and Brightline actually physically combats climate change. I mean, it's reducing carbon emissions. It's taking 3 million cars off the road annually. You know, it's a very, very good deal all the way around.
Basically, the train is very environmental. We keep on hearing the media, the environmentalists, Greenpeace, everyone saying that the global warming is happening. Well, what best way to combat global warming is by taking a whole bunch of cars that cause enough emission to to cover all Florida, and use that train to go from. Basically, I'm trying to say is that the train is a great way to take cars off the road. Less cars, less emission, and less damaging we have on the environment. Thus, we'd be able to bring environmental stability to Florida.
Now, Derek, you're 27 years old, right? You've had autism since you were 4, right? Okay, so now with this new train station, how would this benefit men and women not much like yourself?
I'm gonna be very frank. Driving a car is stressful. Despite even with being comfortable, it's like a loaded gun. If you don't pay attention, someone's gonna get killed. If you don't take care of it, somebody's gonna get killed. If you don't abide to the law, your life is going to hell. There's no other way around it. And people with autism are always stressed out over the littlest of things. Not only that, I'm not saying this is for all people with autism, but I'm very terrible with money. I don't like spending about $40 per gas just to fill up my car every week. I would like just to take a train straight all across South Florida without having to fear the fact that I'm going to have to pay. The only thing that will probably hinder me is a whole year pass just to go from Miami to Orlando. But other than that is a lot cheaper than just filling up a gas station just to go all the time just because I went to a grocery store.
Okay. Well, I think that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching, and this is another update from Millennials for All Aboard Florida.